Today we're going to review the setup and the use of the Jetstream atherectomy system. First, to prepare for a case using the Jetstream system, you'll first need an IV pole, the Jetstream console, a 1,000 ml bag of saline, an 014 exchange length guide wire, and your selected Jetstream catheter. When setting up the system, first you'll need to secure the Jetstream console to the IV pole. Simply loosen the clamp to a size that allows the clamp to slide over the IV pole. With the clamp on the pole, tighten the clamp to secure the console to the pole. The power cord is also located in the rear of the Jetstream. Simply plug into any standard 120 volt outlet. We are now ready to turn on the console and load the catheter. With the doors closed, we're going to depress the power button located on the upper right-hand corner of the unit. The console will complete a self-check and be ready for catheter loading. A review of the screen real quick on the Jetstream unit. We have several different buttons. The first is a reset button, so if you should encounter any alarms on the system, you will correct the alarm and then hit the reset button. The prime button is used when we prime the catheter. We also have a total runtime here, which indicates the total runtime for the device. And below here we have two indicators indicating min tip and max tip. At any time you can look at the screen and determine which cutting mode you're in. Using your catheter selection guide, you can choose the appropriate Jetstream catheter to use based on indication and vessel size. Today we're choosing the XC 2.130 catheter. This will come in a sterile pouch, which will be opened up and handed off to the sterile field. Once the sterile person has the tray, they'll simply remove the tie-back barrier from the corner here, ripping off the tie-back cover and disposing of. The sterile person then can set the tray on the sterile field, remove the catheter and tubing, and handing off the rest of the tray and the components to the non-sterile person for loading into the console. First, we'll open the doors on the console. Taking the baton, we will load the baton into the console. The IV spike will be towards the top with the waste bag and other connectors hanging below. Taking the baton, you will place it in the console, aligning the tubings around each roller pump. Make sure that the tubing is seated properly around each roller pump before closing the doors. We will now take the IV tubing and place it through the bubble detector channel, making sure to seat the tubing to the back of the channel, and then we'll spike the saline. To complete the setup, we'll need to connect the power connector and hang the waste bag. Grasping the console power cord and the catheter power cord, find the red dot on each connector and slide together. No twisting is necessary. Taking the waste bag, you'll see two pegs on the console and holes on the top side of each corner of the waste bag. We'll want to align those and slide the holes over the pegs. With the catheter loaded, priming is necessary and the next step before using the catheter. We're going to instruct the sterile person to place the tip of the Jetstream catheter in a sterile bowl and keep away from the sides and the bottom of the bowl during priming. Have the non-sterile person depress the prime button. You'll hear the catheter start to prime. The priming of the catheter roughly takes 70 seconds, and the machine will beep to let you know when the prime is complete. With the guide wire in place, we will backload the Jetstream over the guide wire. Two of the wires we recommend using are the Thruway and the Jet wire, manufactured by Boston Scientific. With the Jetstream backloaded over the wire, you'll notice the wire exits the back of the pod. We now need to put the wire through the GARD, G-A-R-D, which stands for Guide Wire Anti-Rotational Device. We're going to grasp the wire from the rear of the pod, depress the silver button, and place the wire into the angled guard channel. Ensure that the wire sits at the bottom of the channel and is a tight loop between exiting the pod and being placed into the guard channel. The wire can be redirected if needed using the wire shelf on top of the pod. With the Jetstream now backloaded over the wire and advanced to the treatment site, let's review the pod and the operational buttons. These buttons are on the controller, which are tethered into the pod. They can be used either in the pod, or you can remove the activation buttons and use the controller through the tether. First, let's talk about the activation button. The large button with the up arrow on it is our activation. This will engage the cutting and aspiration modes of the catheter. You will see two buttons on the top of the controller. The gray button, which will activate in blades down mode, and the orange button, which will engage the blades up activation mode. The Rex button, located behind the activation button, is used for retraction and activates aspiration when withdrawing the catheter in preparation for the next pass or removing it from the body. Some of the recommendations when using the Jetstream atherectomy system and catheter are: always use room temperature saline. Avoid using a TUI Borst valve with the catheter. Use the recommended 014 guide wires listed in our DFU. Only operate in an atherectomy mode in a proximal to distal motion. Rotoglide can be used with this system. The Jetstream device is designed to operate 2 passes blades down, followed by 2 passes blades up, with Rex activated when the catheter is being retracted in preparation for the next pass or for removal from the body. We want to avoid stalling the device when treating. Keep the tip of the Jetstream 10 centimeters back from the tip of the guide wire at all times. We want to always monitor the wire loop movement in the back of the pod, our aspiration outflow, the RPM speed of the device, as well as the advancement speed when treating. And one last thing we want to leave you with is an animation that really highlights the benefits of the Jetstream device and also how the device functions in the vessel and can effectively remove thrombus and calcium to better benefit your patients. For additional questions and support, please contact your Boston Scientific sales and clinical team. Thank you again. Have a great day.